Hey guys, thanks for coming to my YouTube video. This is Yuri. Today in this video, I'd like to talk about how I improved my English. The story that I'm sharing is truly coming from my experiences. I started learning English again in my 30s and I already had a kid at a time. And my English level back then was at a super beginner level. It was close to zero. So I hope this video will give you some motivation to learn English. So let's get this started. Before I dive into the main topic of this video, I'd like to share a little bit about myself. So this is Yuri. As you can see, I'm Japanese. I was born and raised in a small town in Miyazaki Prefecture. Until 5 years ago, I couldn't speak English at all.
Oh, this place is Onokoro-jima Jinja. Onokoro-jima Jinja. Oh, how do you say Jinja in English? Jinja is shrine.
When I was a student, I didn't like English classes. I often got bad scores on English exams and got academic as well. Probably because of that, I still didn't like English even after became an adult. When I really got into Western movies like Harry Potter, The Lord of the Rings, I always watched them with Japanese dubbing instead of the original English audio. When I worked as a nurse at a hospital, there was a time that I had to respond to a nurse call from a patient from another country. Since I couldn't speak English at all, I just said, sorry, I can't speak English. 誰か英語話せる方呼んでくるのでお待ちくださいね. Yeah, that's all. That was the only thing that I could say at the moment. And I felt like I was stupid because I just ran away from the situation and from him. Yeah, I think I could have done something for him, even though I couldn't speak English at all. But I was really afraid of talking to someone in English. I still regret what I did though. It is what it is. I can't go back to time. The reason why I decided to learn English again was because it's not like there wasn't any particular big reason for that, but I really wanted to learn it with my son, who was 2 years old at the time. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to learn it with him? Yeah, that's it. Then I started my English journey and it's been 5 years since then. And during the time, I got a chance to work at an international school. And I worked there for about 3 years. But just because I was working there doesn't mean things were going well. Because during the first 6 months, I struggled a lot with communicating in English with my coworkers. I couldn't understand most of what they were saying, and even when I did, I couldn't reply to them quickly. So I was like, sorry, I couldn't get it. Could you say that again for me? Or could you speak more slowly? Yeah, I said that many times. And after asking them several times, they said, oh, it's okay. Never mind. Yeah, I felt really awkward and sorry about that. And I also felt down when I realized that was my current level. Because I've been learning English for about 2 years at a time. So I was like, oh, how can I be so slow and bad at learning the language? But I didn't want to give up. Yeah, I didn't quit. You know, instead of giving up, I worked hard to do what I needed to do to improve my English. I was reviewing what I couldn't say in English at home and trying to use new expressions that I'd learned into conversations. Then I was gradually getting better, like baby steps. Whew. I was just gonna introduce myself a bit, but I had a lot of things that I wanted to talk. I really appreciate you guys. Alright, now I'm gonna be sharing what I did to improve my English. The first step is to learn the basics. The basics that I'm talking about are grammar and vocabulary. And I used textbooks like grammar books and word books. Like this if you need some information. But to be honest, when I first started learning English, I thought learning the basics was super boring. So I skipped that, and instead of learning them, I just focused on memorizing phrases, watching tons of movies, anime, TV series. Yeah, and I continued the method for about a year. However, I realized that I wasn't getting better because I couldn't say anything other than the phrases that I'd memorized. In other words, I couldn't make my own sentences, even short ones. And I also couldn't understand what the speaker said, what the line said when I watched movies or something and checked subtitles. I finally realized why those things were happening to me. And then I started learning the basics. I also created my own sentences that I actually use in my daily life based on grammar and words that I learned. Then practiced reading them aloud over and over again while imagining the situations and putting emotions into them. Putting emotions into those sentences that I'd made. I took this method because I really wanted to link my own sentences with situations and emotions so that I could use them in different situations when needed, without relying on the words. You know what I mean? Yeah, I hope you guys catch what I mean. By doing that, I was able to make sentences more effortlessly. I not only learned English grammars and words, but also became able to use them. Yeah, like this. And the second thing I did was learning from my favorite things. Yeah, what I actually did in this step were watching movies, anime, American TV series, and mimicking the speakers a lot. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because I really wanted to know how people actually talk in conversations and improve my listening skills. What I watched were American versions of Ghibli film, like Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, my favorite TV series, Full House as well. I've been watching this since I was little, so I'm familiar with the stories, and I love them so much. So no matter how many times I watch them, I never get tired of them. So I decided to watch them to learn English. First of all, I was listening to the speakers and trying to understand what they were saying. And after listening to 4 or 5 times, whether or not I understood, I added English subtitles to see if I caught the meanings. Then imitated the speakers so many times until I could reproduce them more perfectly. And by doing that, I not only improved my listening skills, but also my speaking skills and pronunciation. Based on my experiences, practicing the same phrases while watching something you like over and over again will help them stick in your head so that you can use them in different situations you want to use. I highly recommend this. Oh, finally, this is the last one. And the last one is to talk to yourself in English. I talk to myself in English a lot, all the time, because when it comes to conversation, you need to express yourself, right? So I practiced talking to myself in English a lot. At first, I started describing my daily routine, what I'll do, what I'm doing, and what I did. When I talk about my daily routine, I said something like, I wash my face after waking up in the morning, and what else? I make my coffee for myself every day, every morning. I also described what I'm seeing or what I'm thinking. When I saw my son watching TV in front of me, I said something like, my son is watching TV right now and it's his favorite anime. And I got hungry around the lunchtime. I said something like, oh, I'm so hungry. What should I eat for lunch? Like this. Yeah, I was trying to say everything in English as much as possible. If there were any words and expressions that I didn't know, I looked them up and practiced the phrases over and over again until I got better. I also practiced expressing myself, expressing my opinions on specific topics. Because when was it? It was probably when I took online English lesson. There was a time that tutor asked me, what do you like in your free time? I was able to answer the question, but I couldn't answer another one, like, why do you like it? I couldn't come up with anything, and I stayed silent. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I've never thought about it before, even in Japanese. What? I can't answer such a simple question. Yeah, it was quite shocking, but I really wanted to know each other when we have conversations. So I started expressing myself on specific topics. I was picking up some topics and answered those questions in English. Then by doing that, I was able to talk about many things. And I also learned various expressions through the method. Now I think my English is not that bad. Yeah, because I'm speaking English like this. Alright, let me switch to Japanese. 英語でバーッとお話しさせていただいたんですけれども、冒頭でもお話しした通り、30代で子供を産んで、それから子供に英語を教えたいと思って英語学習を始めました。学生の頃から英語赤点ばっかり取ってたし、英語嫌いだしっていう状況だったんですけれども、子供と英語学習をし始めて、逆にこの私の方が英語の素晴らしさだったりとか、英語の楽しさに目覚めて魅了されて、私が英語学習にのめり込んでしまったっていう状況です。英語学習をする中で辛いこととかありました。きついなとか、子供もいるし、仕事してるし、家事もあるし、なかなか時間取れないなとか、単語覚えられないし、この覚えたい、このいいな、使いたいなって思った表現をなかなか覚えられないな。使えるようにならない。そういう悩みとかがすごくあったんですね。でも、しんどかったけど、やっぱりやめたいとはならなかったんです。当時働いていたインターナショナルスクールのスタッフと円滑にコミュニケーションを取れるようになりたいし、私も彼らのことを知りたい。彼らに私のことを知ってほしいっていう思いで英語学習を続けてきました。本当にしくじりまくりの英語学習だったんですけど、話せるようになってる。噛みますし、めっちゃ間違えますし、それ人間なので、それでもこれだけ話せるようになるんだなっていうのは感じました。これまでの努力、無駄じゃなかったなっていうのは感じます。大丈夫かな？なんかまとまってない気がしますが、この思いが皆さんに伝わってくれれば嬉しいなと思います。これから英語学習始めたい、今英語学習頑張ってるっていう方に向けて、英語学習の失敗談とか、これやってうまくやったよ、これやったらうまくいったよっていう方法などこのチャンネルでシェアしていければと思っています。もしこの動画が気に入っていただけましたら、いいねボタン、チャンネル登録とても嬉しいです。Right, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!